Hi everyone and welcome to my first ranking video. Last time I posted a video of me simping for Charles for about almost 17 minutes. And my Discord friends asked on which ending of Henry Stickmin I would rank the highest. So today I'm going to go through each ending in the Henry Stickmin Collection and then give my personal opinion on each ending. So we're going to start with Chapter 1, Escaping the Prison. Okay, first ending on my list is Lawyered Up. This is when Henry calls up Felix Wright, which is a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney reference, to help bail him out of jail. And let's be honest, I never played Ace Attorney, but I heard it's really good, and I've listened to the music for it. It's really epic. Now, but I put this at the top of my list because of this part right here.
There's one thing that's been bothering me. If Henry was hiding in this bag, then how did he tie the knot from the outside of the bag?
Now, when I finished playing through that, I immediately knew this is going to be a great game. Alright, next is Badass Bust Out. I also ranked this one highly because of the epic Matrix scene at the end where Henry dodges all of the bullets, but at the end catches one and throws it right back at the cop. And I was like, oh my gosh, Henry is a total badass. He is a god. This was amazing. Yeah, escaping the prison immediately gets you hyped for what's to come in Henry Stickmin. Alright, Sneaky Escapist. Now, this is just basically your average prison bust out. I mean, I would say that he is unseen, undetected throughout the whole thing, but you remember this? Ha! Feel the wrath of my stick! Haha! Yeah. I liked doing that part, and then everything else is like, okay, here's Henry, escape the prison. It's a good ending. Not as good as the others, but I accept it. Alright, Chapter 2, Stealing the Diamond. My first one on my list here is just plain epic. This is when Henry sneaks in and then uses the mushroom, the Mario mushroom, to steal the diamond and then causes just absolute chaos in the museum. Now, it was so full of plot twists and funny references.
My god, it's over 9? Yeah.
They really got me at the end where Henry's just running away from the museum. And I was like, oh no, we don't have the diamond. But then the diamond's like, hi, I'm here. And Henry's like, oh hell yeah, I get the diamond. Alright, the next one, Intruder on a Scooter. This is when Henry takes his scooter. I was slightly disappointed because I thought it was gonna be a motorcycle, but it was a really nice scooter. He drives the scooter through the building and steals the diamond aggressively. Now, I like that one because of all the quick time events and how I laughed at some of the fails. He shot me and ran over my dead corpse. Stop hanging around and do something. Get it? Okay, I'll stop. No, keep going with the puns. I like the puns. Oh,
Wave the body ahead, wanker.
Oh, jeez. To be honest, I just love this ending. The last one is Unseen Burglar. Now, this one is where we're undetected throughout the whole thing. Nobody knew that I snuck into this museum to steal the Tunisian diamond. The highlight of this was the teleporter actually being the correct way to sneak it onto the roof. And then everything else was also amazing. Also seeing the cheese fail. Yes. Oh wait, I was supposed to be doing something! And the snap neck fail. No, you snapped the wrong neck. Okay, now we're getting into the part where we're having branching paths in the game. So we're starting with infiltrating the airship. So we're starting with government-supported private investigator. Henry takes the earpiece and uses it throughout his investigation, and he communicates with the government's pilot, Charles. Now, as many of you know, I simp for Charles a lot, especially the first time I see him do this.
Alright, here it comes.
It was just an absolute joy to play. Alright, next is a rapidly promoted executive. This one, Henry defeats the right-hand man, and at the end betrays the government, and he becomes the new top hat leader. Now, in my opinion, this would probably what would make the most sense to Henry, because the top hats, they're a group of criminals just like him, and I was like, at the end, I was like, that's a genius idea. Why would you need to be pardoned from all your crimes when you could just lead a group of crime makers? So, yeah. This ending would be at the top of my list, but the Charles ending is way better. Okay, pure-blooded thief. In my opinion, this also would make sense to Henry because I know how much of a criminal Henry is. And so when I saw the ruby, the Romanian ruby throughout it, I was like, oh my goodness, that's a giant ruby. We need to steal that. Now, I know Henry didn't get pardoned from the government and he made enemies. So basically, this is the ending where Henry's like, no, I'm my own person. I don't need alliances with the top hats or the government. But all that matters was the giant ruby that he stole. And now the last one was Relentless Bounty Hunter. This follows the same path as the rapidly promoted executive path, but at the final choice screen, instead of deciding to take over the top hats, he decides to arrest their leader, Reginald Copperbottom. And now, this one doesn't really stand out to me too much because, listen, I get that Henry was doing this so that he can wipe his criminal record clean, but it doesn't make sense because this is a limited time off. That was a limited time offer of Henry, because he turned down a chance to become a criminal leader. And I was like, buddy, you could have become your own kind. But okay, I like that. And now we're into fleeing the complex. And we're starting with the betrayed. Henry, after he escapes from his cell, after waiting for his transfer, he calls the Top Hat clan to rescue him. They come get him, but then Reginald says this.
Wait, why?
You, I become the leader of the Top Hat clan again.
No!
I just wanted to look you in the eyes as I took it all back.
Don't drop me, no!
Goodbye.
Now, I was crying during this. I was almost crying during this because I saw Henry die a lot in fails in humorous ways, but this is an ending. This is a success death, not a failure death. I was just amazed. Let me just leave it at there. Next is Convict Allies. This is when Henry teams up with Ellie to escape the wall. And then they bust out with a lot of other convicts that were locked up in there. And I know that there's a lot of people that ship Henry and Ellie together, like as a couple. And to be honest, I do it too.
Hey! Hands off my girl, or else I'll give you the knee! Whoa. Oh, that was like so romantic, though!
Oh yeah, last night.
This would also be number 1 on my list, but The Betrayed got me feeling more. Okay, International Rescue Operative. This is when Henry, instead of the Tabat clan, he calls in his buddy Charles to bail him out of the complex. I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. I simp for Charles, so this is naturally an amazing ending. And I also love how he did his amazing helicopter crash.
Perfect plan. This is the greatest plan.
Just, wow, Charles is just the best. Our next one is Presumed Dead. This is when Henry aggressively breaks out of the complex in a truck. And then the warden, he pushes the truck over the cliff, and Henry somehow survives it, not sure how. And then I was like, what? Henry, you are amazing. Plus, I was also amazed that was the first time when letting the time run out actually worked. I was also giggling a lot with some of the fails in this sequence. Oh no, it's Freddy Fazbear. We went to the building with Freddy Fazbear. Oh, that wasn't scary. Oh my goodness.
You've got 2 options here, Henry. You stay in there.
Airbags save lives. Still.
Trade arts.
I'm a snowman now. Those guys need to chill. Henry Stickmin is just full of amazing endings. And then finally, The Ghost Inmates. This is when Ellie helps Henry escape, then Henry is like, no, I'm not gonna help her, and leaves undetected. When I played this through, I did this one first because I didn't know that continuing left was going to be like, okay, we're abandoning Ellie, and we're not going back for her. I was like, no, I didn't know that it was going to abandon her. Now, that's the only part I didn't like about this ending, but everything about it was great. Alright, now we're going into the completing the mission endings. The following will be a ranking from the worst to the best. We're starting with Top at Civil Warfare. This is the result of the rapidly promoted executive and ghost inmate path. This is the only time where Ellie comes back and actually gets her revenge on Henry, but he's able to escape with the Top Hats that remained loyal to him. And then this all-out civil war breaks out in the Top Hat clan. Now, this is last on my list because this is the only time where Ellie interacts with Henry after he abandons her. And this was supposed to be how Henry's story ends overall, but it doesn't stand out to me. It just ends with, oh, Henry started this big civil war, but we don't know who wins. I like this ending, but I wish it had a little bit more. Okay, Little Nest Egg. This is the result of the relentless bounty hunter and presumed dead path. So basically, Henry hears this Top Hat conversation about the money cart being delivered to the rocket by train. So he takes his big tank that he stole from them in Relentless Bounty Hunter, and he sets out to steal that money cart for himself. Now, I liked playing through this ending, The plow option was obviously the best part about this because it reminded me of Charles. And I also liked how they put the Undertale reference when we were fighting Mr. Macbeth. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest, I never played Undertale, but I have seen Roman play through the first part of it. If you want to see that video, go check out Roman's channel. I'll put a link to that in the description. Now, my only problem with this ending is that Ellie wasn't with me in this ending, but this is a good ending. Alright, cleaned them out. This is the result of the government-supported private investigator and ghost inmate path. So Henry's chilling at home, and he hears from his comms device that the top beds have a lot of money. So Henry's just like, okay, I'm gonna go steal all of these treasures. Now, I was immediately giggling at the start when I saw his smirk after he heard the word money from his comms device. And the other part that stood out to me was that final choice screen where we have to decide between 3 of Gadget Gabe's inventions because I know that Henry has a bad history with Gadget Gabe. Now, the only part that I don't like about this ending is because this is supposed to be a government path, but Charles isn't even in it. This was good. It was good. Capital gains. This is the result of the relentless bounty hunter and convict allies path. In this ending, Henry and Ellie take the big tank that Henry stole from the Top Hats back in Relentless Bounty Hunter, and they go to steal the money cart from the train, and then they defeat the right-hand man with a big wombo combo. Now, this ending had one of the most epic intros, and I also feel like this is the ending where everyone ships Henry and Ellie together. I kind of wish this ending was a little bit longer, but it was good. I liked it. Alright, Top Hat for life. This is the result of the rapidly promoted executive and presumed dead path. So after hearing these drunk government soldiers talking about the Top Hat raid, Henry is the leader in this of the Top Hats in this ending. So he goes out to prevent it and allows the Top Hats to have a safe launch. Now, I remember when I was playing through this was one of my favorite endings to edit and do commentary for, especially for that walkthrough fail where it tells you in the fail message how long you watched it. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, I've only watched it for about almost a minute, but I edited it where it seemed like I watched it for a really long time. Also, I made a joke about it saying this.
So now that I am 76 years old, let's go back to the hub.
This is a great ending. Alright, Top Hat recruits. This and the Pardon Pals path are both the results of the Pure-Blooded Thief and Convict Allies path. Now, this version of this path is when Henry and Ellie attempt to join the Top Hat clan, and they succeed. I liked how this is the only ending where Reginald, he isn't arrested, demoted, or killed in any way. And that this is where he shows praise for Henry. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is that I had to betray Charles to get this ending. And then Pardon Pals, this version is when Henry and Ellie attempt to join the Top Hat clan, but then they're like, nope, we changed our mind, we're gonna help Charles take down this racket. And then the criminal records are wiped clean after that. Now, this is the same path until that final choice screen, and I like this ending a little bit better because of Charles. Just because of Charles. Great ending. Alright, Free Man. Now, this is the result of Relentless Bounty Hunter and Ghost Inmates. So, Henry's captured by the right-hand man, and then he escapes from the space station and puts it out of action. Now, my two favorite parts in this ending were the lockpick fail.
There's still no lock. Oh, okay. Lockpick it. You gotta stop trying this, man. Lockpick it. There is no lock. Lockpick it. The game's getting really angry with me. Lockpick it. Fine, you want a lock? There's your lock. Okay, now we lockpick it. We did it. Hey!
And the comms satellite fail.
Yeah, it's me again. We're picking up a data stream from our broadcasting satellite.
You don't say.
Yeah, just keep saying attack, fire, shoot the laser. Oh, hang on.
It just stopped.
But in the first scene, I expected Ellie was going to be the one to capture Henry. When I heard the right-hand man, I was like, oh, it's the right-hand man that captured me. I mean, he has his motives too, because I defeated him and made him a robot. But this is a good ending. I like it. Alright, Master Bounty Hunter. Now this is the result of the Relentless Bounty Hunter and International Rescue Operative path. Now Henry teams up with a squad of bounty hunters to help capture or eliminate the right-hand man. Now I know I said this earlier, Relentless Bounty Hunter, it wasn't my favorite ending in Infiltrating the Airship, but when this ending started, I was hyped up with this cinematic-like intro. I was like, oh my god, this ending is going to be amazing. And it was! My other favorite part was the reoccurrence of that dance-off fail.
Hey.
Dance off.
But the only part that I don't like about this is that the right-hand man killed off my entire team, but this was an amazing ending. Alright, Stickmin Space Resort. This is the result of the pure-blooded thief and presumed dead path. Now Henry overhears another top-hat conversation about this rocket plan and what the rocket has in store. So Henry goes to steal that rocket, and then at the end, he turns it into this space resort. Now, I'm being completely honest here. The idea of a resort in space is just amazing because as a child, I've always wanted to travel into space, and if we had a real-life space station resort, I would be able to see Earth from space while relaxing in a lounge chair. And also, the 3 hammer choices got me while I was playing through this. And this was a great ending. Okay, next is Jewel Baron. This is the result of the pure-blooded thief and presumed dead path. In this one, Henry sets out to steal the Norwegian emerald from the already established top-hat orbital station. Now, when I think of the pure-blooded thief ending, I think of Henry stealing giant jewels. So when I heard emerald, I was like, we gotta finish our collection of jewels. And that's exactly what Henry went to do. I also like this ending because the teleporter finally works properly. I mean, it doesn't work properly because Henry smashes it on the ground because he didn't trust it at all. But it worked and got him to the vault to steal that emerald. This was just... I was like, yes, I am so happy. Also, I love the ending scene where Reginald says this.
Me.
And then we're all thinking the same thing. Curse you, Perry the Platypus! Alright, Top-Hat King. This is the result of the rapidly promoted executive and convict allies. So Henry is the leader of the Top Hat clan, and he defends the clan against the government with the help of Ellie and the right-hand man. And they successfully get that rocket into orbit. And I also love this ending because Reginald at the end, he gives us the biggest nuh-uh moment.
Jump!
I got you, Henry.
But are you gonna pull me up?
You know, I could drop you right now and nobody would know.
I thought we already did this.
But why would I do that?
Let's be honest, we were all thinking that he was going to betray us again. But then he's like, psych, I'm actually gonna help you. I also give this a high ranking because of Henry acting like Charles, ramming his helicopter into the control tower. This
Just
is
wait
the
till my friend gets
greatest.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, amazing ending. Very excellent. Alright, triple threat. This is the result of the government-supported private investigator and convict allies path. This is when Henry teams up with both Ellie and Charles to take down the rocket, and as a result, they send all of the Top Hats to the wall. All I can say is, Henry, Ellie, and Charles, that is the dream team. Everything about this ending is just perfect, from Charles's fourth wall break.
Completing the mission.
Nice. Because then he wouldn't be cool if he didn't say that.
To this scene where Charles is high-fiving Ellie and Henry, and to the distraction dance remix. And my only complaint with this one is that Charles, he didn't get to do his greatest plan in the final choice screen, because I wanted to see that. But this was amazing. Alright, Special Brovert Ops. This is the result of the government-supported private investigator and the international rescue operative path. This is when Henry teams up with Charles to stop the rocket from launching, and then they both get a promotion at the end into Special Covert Ops agents. Now, this is one of my favorite endings. The best thing ever is just working with Charles in general, let alone to take down the space station and getting a promotion at the end. Where the general comes out and says this.
Do I
We're
want
running a lot more missions together with Charlie.
Yes!
Chef's kiss to this ending, perfect in every way. The next is Revenged. This is the result of that rapidly promoted executive and the betrayed path. So after Reginald does his big betrayal in fleeing the complex, Henry is fixed up with robot augmentations, and then he's like, okay, I'm using these to get revenge on the Top Hats. And so he first has to battle the right-hand man. Robot versus robot, yes. And then I also found it hilarious when Henry tries to give Reginald his karma by dropping him, but it's revealed that doesn't work out. Reginald upgrades his hat with his built-in parachute, and it ends up being a fail. But then you have the last scene, which got me so emotional. Even though Henry gets his revenge, he dies. What makes this even more sad is that the fact that this was the last ending in this timeline, and that he has no one, absolutely no one to mourn him, because he betrays Charles, he never meets Ellie, and the Top Hat loyalists from Top Hat Civil Warfare, they also got killed when the airship crashed. This was just an amazing and emotional way to end the Henry Stickmin Collection, and I respect that. Alright, and then the last one, The Valiant Hero. This one is the result of the government-supported private investigator and presumed dead path. In this ending, Henry and Charles team up to take down the established Top Hat orbital station. But before I say anything more, I just have to say extreme respect for Charles. The Charles running fail where he crashes his helicopter into things and it leads to a failure. It gets me in hysterics. It sends me into pure laughter every time. But I was so happy in this ending where it actually leads to a success and inflicts extreme damage onto that top at orbital station.
Yep.
Some bold action. I'm the bold action man.
Warning. Critical damage to core. Please evacuate immediately.
Wait, that actually worked.
I always wanted to do that.
Warning.
Also, I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again. Major crush for Charles. I simp for him, for Charles. And I love every single stupid thing he does. I mentioned this in the video where I did this ending as well.
Charles is so cute.
Please evacuate immediately.
He's being cuter than normal in this path.
But the real reason that this is at the top of my list is because of how emotional this ending was. That moment where Henry's thrown out of the escape pod and then Charles gets out and throws him back in, it just proved that Charles was the best of friends. I appreciate that he cared more about Henry's safety than his own. And then, for the last part, you have this.
No,
We did it though, we got him. It's a pretty good plan.
no,
He
Charles.
was the greatest.
My heart was immediately split in half. No, sorry, it was broken into a million pieces. I had enough tears to last almost a month. And then what made this even more emotional was seeing this video by J735. I'll put that link to that video in description in the comments as well. But RIP to Charles Calvin, the bold action man, the greatest friend, the greatest pilot, and the valiant hero. Valiant Hero was the best and worst ending that I've gotten. Alright, so that was my ranking of all of the Henry Stickmin endings. If you have a personal ranking, make sure to tell me in the comments below. But I'll see you all in the next video.